Hello, and welcome to Wikimania 2021. This is the 16th Wikimania and the very first all-virtual one. My name is Phoebe Ayers, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Wikimania Steering Committee. And on behalf of the committee and all of the organizers, thank you so much for joining us. Whether it's early in the morning for you, like it is for me, or late at night, we are so happy that we are here together again at Wikimania. We are going to start the conference today with a few messages from individuals in our community, starting with a video from Iolanda Pensa, President of Wikimedia Italia and Chair of the Wikimania Steering Committee. Following that, there will be a message from Jimmy Wales, co-founder of Wikipedia, Wikimedia Foundation board member, and frequent Wikimania attendee. So over to Iolanda.
Welcome to Wikimania. Wikimania is the Wikipedia and Wikimedia World Gathering. We meet every year to discuss, to learn, to plan new initiatives, but essentially we gather for the pleasure of meeting each other. This year, Wikimania is online to avoid displacement and risk, but with the remote participation and many translations, it is also a chance to expand our international communities. What do I mean with international communities, and how can you join us? There are essentially two ways to belong to the Wikimedia communities. The first one is to push the edit button. All our website and resources have an edit button. You can use it to correct mistakes, add images and sources, translate articles, improve data, program our free and open source software, or uploading open content. And here is the second way you can belong to our communities. Open your content. Release your documentation and data with open licenses, so that others can modify them and use them for all purposes, also commercial purposes. In Italian, the encyclopedic articles are called voci, voices. I like to imagine all the voices behind Wikipedia and the Wikimedia project, and Wikimania is a great chance to hear some of them. Here at Wikimania, you will hear stories of our communities who are contributing to improve the Wikimedia project, and you can hear authors and institutions that are producing and releasing open knowledge. Our thank you goes to all our volunteers, teams, and institutions who already belong to our communities and contribute actively to our mission. And thank you for joining our communities at Wikimania. Enjoy Wikimania 2021 and contribute to open knowledge.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wikimania. Wikimania is always such a special time for our movement to come together, to see old friends. There's always a frenzy of activities and meetups. We put faces to usernames and connect with friends new and old. Unfortunately, this year, we're a little bit harder to do that, but let's make our best effort to see each other online, not just through the event, but socially. Have a lot of side Zooms and things like that. Because of the global pandemic, this is our first Wikimania in 2 years, and I'm so glad it's happening. Thank you for being here. I know there's been a ton of effort put into this process, so I want to thank the Wikimania core organizing team, as well as the Wikimania steering committee, for rising to the challenge and presenting us with the first ever virtual Wikimania. I also want to thank the foundation staff who've supported this process, and as always, the many volunteers involved. I look back at what's happened in our movement over the last 2 years. There's several things. I'm going to go through a little list of them. We finalized the movement strategy recommendations and began moving forward with some of its biggest pieces. I'm hopeful that this year we can begin to draft a formal movement charter, proceeding carefully and thoughtfully and inclusively, while assuming good faith in the classic Wikipedia way. We created a universal code of conduct to protect contributors across all of our projects. We introduced a brand new project with Abstract Wikipedia. We launched Wikimedia Enterprise and started exploring new ways of collaborating with large enterprise users of our API. We've seen an entirely new approach to community grants from the foundation that's more accessible, regionally distributed, and built to serve different types of community funding needs. On the global stage, we mobilized to start writing information about a novel virus with more than a year and a half ago. Today, we have nearly 7,000 articles about COVID-19, and we have emerged as one of the foremost resources on the internet for public health information. We also saw how much room we still have to grow when it comes to knowledge equity, including how global challenges such as racial inequality impact how people can share in the sum of all human knowledge. Speaking of inequities, I am so proud that every year we improve our gender gap a little bit. I want us to do more, but we've done a little bit. I believe women's biographies have grown to 20% in Wikipedia now. We still have a long way to go. For me, this is an issue very near and dear to my heart. But I really congratulate everyone who's worked hard to make the progress we've made so far, and let's just keep going. And of course, we celebrated the 20th anniversary of English Wikipedia and will continue to do so for years for other language versions. I'm awed and inspired by what started as a project in 2001 has become one of the most reliable, important sources of information on the internet. And it's all thanks to this incredible movement. With all of these achievements, it's incredibly timely that we're coming together over the next 4 days. Wikimania is one of my favorite times of the year. I remember the first Wikimania when it was a much smaller group of us. We had no idea what we were doing, but we decided, hey, it's a wiki, we'll find a way. And I think that's the spirit we're going to have to bring into this virtual Wikimania. Nobody really quite knows how to have an event of this size and do it online and do it in the Wikipedia, Wikimedia way, but we'll find a way. Today, Wikimania is a symbol of how much our movement has grown. This is our first virtual Wikimania, and for many of you, it may be your first Wikimania ever. I'm thrilled at how many people will be able to join us this weekend. Welcome to those of you who have been with us for 20 years and those for whom it's been 20 days. Welcome. Our biggest successes are in front of us, and in true Wikimedian fashion, we'll achieve them together. Once again, welcome to Wikimania.
Great. Thank you to Iolanda and Jimmy. Next, let's welcome Nangara, a member of the Wikimania core organizing team. They are the volunteers who have worked so hard this year to put this conference on. Nangara was also a member of the team that planned to host Wikimania in Bangkok in 2020 and has done a ton of work to bring us all together this year. Following Nangara, we will have a greeting message from last year's Wikimedian of the Year, Sandis Durte, followed by a greeting from Dr. Jess Wade, a physicist, educator, and community member who is known for tackling biases on our projects. Over to Nangara.
Hi, I'm Nangara from the 2021 core organising team and from the Wikimania 2020 core organising team. Now, I'm here to bridge the gap between Wikimania 2019 in Stockholm and how we got to where we are today in 2021 being online. As everyone was leaving Stockholm in 2019, all eyes were turning towards Wikimania 2020 being in Bangkok. Now, Wikimania 2020 was itself going to be slightly different from previous Wikimanias, as it was being organised by the ESEAP community, which is the East, Southeast Asian and Pacific communities, and they were all coming together, all the affiliates there were coming together to collaborate and create Wikimania. Now, as everyone is well aware, COVID started to become a problem in early 2020, and by March everything was shutting down, and that included Wikimania 2020 in Bangkok, though we do hope to go back to Bangkok again in the future when everyone can come together in person. But yeah, where we are in August last year, 2020, the decision was made that Wikimania had to happen because it's such an important and valuable asset to the community. So it was decided it was going to go online. And what happened was that the Wikimedia Foundation event staff were given a task of looking at what resources were needed, whether it was platforms, funding, production, everything else that would make a Wikimania online possible. The Wikimania Steering Committee was also working behind the scenes, and they set out and brought together a new core organising team, and they wanted it from as many communities and distributed people from around the globe as possible. So when the core organising team came together in early 21, we already had all the background for the mechanics, the resources, a concept and the types of platforms that were available to us to make Wikimania possible. So we were able to start looking at the other aspects, the individual, the unique, the personal aspects of Wikimania, and we were able to look at, we thought, well, the first thing we want to do is we want to make it inclusive and make the affiliates a bigger part of the whole event. So we looked at having affiliate tracks, so where all the affiliates could present their own pieces of information and their own presentations. We looked at the affiliates being involved in the scholarship process, and that has already taken place, and rather than have the approximate 100 people normally, we will actually have about 600 people attending due to the assistance that the affiliates have been able to give us over the last couple of months. So we were looking at formats, and then we decided, well, we aren't bound by the shackles of being live in person. We have greater capacity to use resources that are online. And the first thing we looked at was that we could provide translations. So we could translate from English to Spanish to French to Russian to German to Arabic to Mandarin. And we decided that we'd do it over three of the tracks, which was the plenary sessions, one of the affiliate tracks, and one of the individual presentation tracks. And you're probably listening to one of those translations at the moment live. So on behalf of the core organising team, we all look forward to the future where we can sit down together and hold another Wikimania in person. But for now, from wherever you are, please sit back, enjoy the coming days, embrace Wikimania 2021. It is something special, and we would love you to collaborate with us and make it something great.
Welcome to Wikimania 2021. And this year, Wikipedia also turned 20. And so the befitting theme for the conference is past, present, and future. To know where we're going as a community, we need to know where we're coming from. And to be able to actually get there, it's about how we use our Welcome to Wikimania 2021. And this year, Wikipedia also turned 20. And so the befitting theme for the conference is past, present, and future. To know where we're going as a community, we need to know where we're coming from. And to be able to actually get there, it's about how we use our present time. And so, Wikimania as a conference offers us that platform for us to come together and connect these three dots of our past, our present, and our future. Wikimania is always a good time for all of us, but because of the global pandemic, this is the first we're having in 2 years. It's online, it's different from what we know, but we are happy it's happening regardless, and so thank you for being here. In talk of the pandemic, our community has been able to contribute about 7,000 articles towards public health information about this novel virus. In this same time, affiliates and projects around the world have demonstrated resilience in carrying on community activities using online means where offline means would prove impractical. I love Wikimania. And my first Wikimania I remember was in Hong Kong. And for every Wikimania that I have been to, I always come back a better Wikimedian, improved and empowered to do so much more. I hope that this year is just as fruitful for everybody and we all have a good time.
Hello to everyone gathering and meeting at Wikimania 2021. I am so thrilled that the virtual international community could come together at times like this. There has never been a more important moment for democratized access to knowledge, and Wikipedia is at the forefront of that drive. Whether it's tackling scientific misinformation or making sure that we truly represent the incredible doctors and scientists working our way out of this awful pandemic, Wikipedia is the platform to do that on. We know there are massive content gaps on Wikipedia, and that's why we're so grateful that people like you are all here to fix that. I am so excited to hear from you, to hear what you're working on, and ultimately to read the Wikipedia pages that come out of all of the inspiration and discussion at this kind of event. I could not be a Wikipedia editor if it wasn't for the incredible work of the Wikimedia Foundation, whether that's building all the platforms behind the scenes that give us beautiful things like the visual editor or the really easy way to drop in a citation, or whether that's all of the people who work for and lead the drive for change on Wikipedia. Wikipedia was recently described by Wired magazine as the last best placed on the internet, and I cannot think of a more perfect description. To everyone attending Wikimania, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you so much for everything that you're going to go on and do. And please keep editing, because I truly believe that you'll make the internet and the world a better place. Peace out.
Thank you to Nangara, to Sandister, and to Jess. I'm so inspired to hear from our community members from all over the world, from Australia to Ghana to the UK. Next, we go to Joel Latong, Senior Event Strategist at the Wikimedia Foundation, to go over some important notes with you about how to participate in the conference for the next 4 days. Over to you, Joel.
Thank you so much, Phoebe. And welcome once again to everybody to the first ever virtual Wikimania. We're so happy to have you here. We thank you, the participants of the event, for being here, and most of all, for your contributions to the movement. I want to thank the Wikimania Steering Committee for their leadership and guidance when it comes to Wikimania as an event. I want to thank the core organizing team of volunteers that put in months, hours, weeks of work to get us here where we are with this virtual Wikimania. And then lastly, thank you to the Foundation for facilitating these community efforts as well. Just a few short reminders. As is usual, the friendly space policy will be in effect at Wikimania. I invite you to go to the Wikimania Wiki, look at the help section, and get familiarized with it. If you see something worth flagging, say something to the appropriate people. The Trust and Safety volunteers will be in all spaces during the days of Wikimania, and there are various ways to get in touch with Trust and Safety. Trust and Safety volunteers will have the tag safety in their names, Remo banners that will take you to Trust and Safety Telegram, or an email address you can report to. I would also like to remind everybody not to take photos or screenshots of participants. Now, when it comes to the program, on Wiki, you will find the links to the relevant tracks that will take you to this space in Remo. A reminder, if you want to access audio translations, please go to the resources page on the Wikimania Wiki to find instructions how to activate those. We will be translating content to Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, Spanish, and German. If you want to ask the speaker any questions, you can access an Etherpad, which is a notepad, in the session abstract of the program. Click on the link, and you will see a notes on the top left of the session abstract. Networking in the community village, this is open to everybody in Remo, and is in Building 1. The community village will be open throughout the event. The frequently asked questions is also available on the wiki page. If you have questions, please go check them out or ask them in the Wikimania Telegram. I also want to invite everyone to the on-demand program, which you will find on the Wikimania Wiki as well. This is in parallel to the official program of the event, so please go ahead and check it out. If you're using social media throughout the event, please use hashtag Wikimania21 and hashtag Wikimania so that everybody is able to see your experiences. All right, next up, and in honor of Bangkok 2020, we will have a Thai cook-along making drunken noodles. Thank you very much and have fun. Happy Wikimania.
Hello, สวัสดีค่ะ This is the Thai way to say greetings. My name is Noi. I'm in Bangkok, Thailand. Welcome to my home. Thank you for having me in your kitchen, in your gatherings, and it's a pleasure and a privilege. So let me introduce myself. I am a chef. I had been for the past 30 years. And recently I came home from living in Mexico. Well, not quite recently, 7 years. I've been back home and I have been a local guide as well as an event coordinator. But now that with the pandemic, I am home mostly and I have started a YouTube channel and cooking classes.
So good morning, everyone. I'm so excited that we're here in Wikimania. Wikimania is one of my favorite events, and it's so special this year because I'm with Noi, and we're cooking something really special, and I'm pretty sure it's very delicious. For you who don't know me, my name is May, and I'm an employee at the Wikimedia Foundation. I'm a recruiter, and 7 years ago, I started my journey with editing Wikipedia, and basically I was working on the knowledge gender gap. So I'm so excited to be here.
let me give you a bit of background in Thailand and Thai cuisine, just so you, in case you haven't been here, you will get to know us a bit. Thailand has a long history of nearly 700 years. We had been a country prior to this was a region called Siam, and we had one of the largest market in Asia back centuries ago, and it had continues to be. We are in the crossroads. We are auspiciously located in the middle between India and China. And with that, the trades come in, they bring in their goods, their beliefs, as well as their food. So Thailand is a melting pot of sort in terms of Thai cuisine. We pick up the use of herb and spice from India. We pick up the cooking techniques from China, which is a wok cooking, and we combine it and make it our own. And so if you have tried Thai food, you would enjoy it with pleasure because the Thai food has combination of 5 flavors. It's sweet, salty, sour, spicy, and bitter. It's a preparation is lightly cooked with the spicy edge on the have a spicy edge in mind, and it touches on the use of the bringing out the flavor, the texture, the color with the use of herbs and ingredients that has beneficial medicinal benefits. And in this particular dish we're making today, also we have that. Thai food can be spicy, not always, but the dishes that are spicy can be very spicy. So if you are 1 star on the scale of 5, you can tone down this a bit, just make it half of the chilies I'm using. The use of herbs in Thai cooking is various. We use the roots, the leaves, the bulbs, the fruit, and it's incorporated in most of our dishes. And with those herbs has beneficial use. And when we go into our little garden, you get to see what it is that I am using for the day and what exists in my little garden. So this is my backyard for being in Bangkok. This is a luxury. We have different kind of herbs and fruit trees in the backyard. Around here, there is cure for toothache, stomachache, bloating, anxiety, and several others that I am not quite ready to list, but just to show you what we have back here, there are probably about 25 different herbs and spice that I can use for cooking as well as cures. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at this. Look at this little melons.
Oh, that's
So we got
so cute.
yes, and it grows pretty big. It can feed the whole family, and plus it's huge.
Is that the watermelon?
That is bitter melon. They call winter
Okay.
melon, not watermelon, but
Okay.
winter melon.
Yeah.
If we
yeah.
cook with that.
Okay.
So right in here in this spot, I got this tall grass. It's called lemongrass. Are you familiar with that name?
Yeah, I have so many of lemongrass in my kitchen. I
You do
use it
have
with
lemongrass.
fish. Yeah, I use it with fish, basically.
Very well.
With any like
Lemongrass.
seafood. Yeah.
So lemongrass has many of the medicinal properties. It is antioxidants, it's anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antidepressant. Did you know all that?
No, honestly, no. But I know it gives a great flavor to any seafood. So I use it with whatever I cook for seafood dish.
It's called wild beetle bush. And these particular plants can also cure toothache, It's also antioxidants. It's good for diabetic as well. It's add food. It gives you appetites. There's all kinds of benefits to
It's so
this.
beautiful.
There we have some lime back here. And let me go to our main act of the day. This particular plant is what we are using for the pad kimao. Can you see? Is that clear enough?
Yeah.
This purple stem plant is called holy basil. The holy basil actually has many benefit as well. It can help you cure all kinds of ailment, but because we use it in our cooking all the time, I mean, I didn't plan to use this as medicine. However, we have it in our kitchen, and this is what we're going to use for the today. It's what we're making for our spicy drunken noodles. You can see kind of a purplish stems and flowers. And it's a native plant to India. Holy basil is known as a sacred plant in India. They plant this at the Vishnu shrine.
Can I have a small house in your garden and stay there?
You're welcome to come stay anytime.
Okay, I'm coming. Where is my bag?
We have plenty of room in our house. So far, how do you have any question about Thailand or Thai cooking or any culture reference that you need to know or you'd like to know?
Yeah, I want to ask, like, what's the most common dish where everybody in Thailand usually eats?
It's probably pad Thai. It's probably most common. Like if you know to go to Thai restaurant, pad Thai would be what people would order.
Okay.
This particular dish, though, I adore because it is spicy, it is flavorful, it's very easy to make, and it's healthy. You know, overall, it's very healthy. So the dish is called pad kimao or drunken noodles, and the name implies that when you go out and enjoy yourself for a couple of drinks, you want to eat something spicy. So pad kimao means drunken or drunkard. And so it's drunken noodles. It's for people who have something to drink. They want to eat something before you go to bed. That's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a great combination of this quick way to stir fry. The noodle itself is rice noodle. It's fairly healthy. And we use the Chinese cooking. We use the wok, which is a round bottom pan over the open flame, which is one of the best way to cook. It creates this quick way that you sear the meat, give it a bit of a smokiness, and then the vegetable will be left crisp tender. And the trick is how you put the food in the pan, or the order you put the food in the pan. All different ingredients go in at different times.
So no, should I mean, how much
Just
of this
half.
should I?
Use half.
Okay.
Right, because there's two of you, right?
Yeah, just two. Yeah. You can call us like an appetite for four. I'm joking.
Whatever you do, do not overload the pan. Meaning,
I think
if you want to, if it's enough, then go ahead and soak it right now. It might take a few minutes, and we might have to take a break in between to make sure that your noodle is soaked.
Sure. In cold or hot water?
Cold water. Cold water is fine.
Okay.
To prep your vegetable.
No. I thought we do that together, so I actually was.
That's okay. We're gonna need
Yeah.
time to let your noodles soak anyway. Make sure you put the noodle all the way in the water.
Okay, they should fit in.
Okay, great.
Like that. Okay.
You know, it's a rainy season and we are outdoor, so the possibility is we might get sprinkle on. That would be fun.
All right, so let me. Okay. So Noe, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What do you do
Yes, ma'am.
when onions make you cry? What do you do?
People have different tricks.
Yeah.
You, I personally don't have any problem with onions, so I don't really have to do anything to them. But some people put onion peel behind their ears.
Oh.
You put them in ice water. Sometimes that will help. Okay. Once you peel it, you cut them in half. And for one dish, you use half. You don't really need to use the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot. The one is too much. Okay, then.
No,
Okay.
yeah. So you slice it.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I'll tell you something, and don't hate me for that. I never ever slice onions. I'm too lazy, so I put them in the kitchen machine, and it does the work for me.
Well, if you have a machine and you would like to use the machine, go for it. Okay, very good.
Okay, this part is. Okay.
So I have green beans, but since you're not using yours. Yeah, this is chuka peas, by the way. They're not quite green beans, like string beans.
Oh yeah.
So we have chuka peas here.
If you see my tears, it's the tears of happiness.
Tears of happiness. Very good.
My family would be
So-
so proud of me if they see me right now in the kitchen.
I'm doing a baby corn. See if you have
Yeah.
something this
You
size.
know, I tried to find it, but it wasn't there. It wasn't available actually.
All right. It is sprinkling on us. So I'm just going to slice my baby corn.
Okay.
All right. And let's see, we can also go through the ingredients and see if we are ready to go. Okay, do you have your basils already removed from the stems?
Not yet, no. Okay.
So do almost most of what you have, because once it's go into the pan, it will shrink.
Yeah.
Okay, very well.
Smells beautiful.
They smell beautiful, isn't it? I love basil.
Yeah. It's sometimes in Egypt we plant them just for their smell, even if we're not using them for cooking. We just plant them for their smell, beautiful smell. Okay.
Let me go through what I have on the table for the moment while you are doing the basils.
Okay.
All right, actually, because we still have to pound the garlic and the chilies first, so we'll go from the ingredients. I have the shrimp. Then I have all the vegetable, the 3 vegetable I picked. You can use other vegetable as well, but the order that the vegetable go into the pan will dictate how well it become. So we got some rice noodles. This is the white rice noodle that I have. It's made fresh, and yours would come out similar to this, maybe slightly thicker. I have the holy basil. I use a lot of it because I love it. And from here, the rest of the ingredient that we are going to use is garlic. I would use 3 cloves of garlic and maybe 3 chilies. But if you are not a spicy eater, you can only use 2 or 1. I have another
Okay,
kind
yeah.
of chilies where I will cut it up and make it to go into the pan as just brighten the noodles up a bit. Then the
Okay.
rest of the ingredients here, we have oil. In Thailand, we use the coconut oil, and any other vegetable oil will do. It will not deter so much of the flavor. We don't use olive oil because it has a flavor in itself.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
And yeah, so you can use vegetable oil.
Oh,
From there, I have a soy sauce, fish sauce, dark soy sauce, oyster sauce, and a bit of sugar, and a bit of ground pepper. As I mentioned, the orders that food go into the pan will make your dish delicious or not so great. Depends on your
yeah.
ability to decide which one need to stay crisp, which one need to get cooked a little bit more. I'm going to pound up some garlic and chilies together. So let's do this together. You have your garlic ready?
Yeah. But I'll just give me a second. I'll cut the chili.
Okay, 1 is enough. If it's it's not too spicy, 1 is good. You have this right kind of chilies too. So
It's so
I got,
small. Did you see it?
yes, it is small,
Yeah.
but it can be potent. The Okay, so here I'm going to pound the garlic and the chili together. You can chop this, but pounding it help release the oil or the essence of the spice. All right, I would do
Okay,
three.
so
Okay, I'll do 2 chilies because this is quite big. 3 cloves
okay.
of garlic, 2 chilies, and I'm going to pound this. It will be a little bit of rattling. So go ahead. Ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I never did that before. Oh,
Oops, it's getting windy. We don't want to make it into a
smell.
paste. We want to break up the garlic and the chilies, but you can
Yeah.
still see their each individual color and
Like, yeah, like that.
let's see. Can I see yours? Just a little
Yeah,
bit
sure.
more.
By the way, I can feel the hot pepper. I can feel it. Yeah, already.
Already, and it's not in your mouth.
No.
We'll do the oil first, then we'll do the garlic and chilies. And after
Okay.
that, I'll put in the shrimp. And once the shrimp is halfway done, I would put in the noodles.
Okay.
And I will let the noodles cook a bit. Then I will add the sauce. So it flavor the noodles. And from there, I will add the vegetables. And at the end, we'll add the basil. The basil would go in last because it doesn't need a long time for cooking. It requires just a bit of a heat to turn on the fragrance and you are done. Okay,
Okay.
good. So once you can feel that the pan is warm, we're going to add the vegetable oil.
Okay.
couple tablespoons. And from here, I will add the garlic and chilies. So from
I
your
should put 'em right
molten
now.
pesto, okay, got oil and then garlic and chili in it. The oil should
Okay.
sizzle a bit and it should smell wonderful in your house. I'm gonna turn down my heat just because it might cook a little quick. And after this is the shrimp. May get the shrimp ready.
Okay.
Once the garlic starting to give off beautiful aroma, you add the shrimp in it. A little spicy in the air. So I have some Thai prawns here.
Oh, the smell is so beautiful.
It smells
I
nice,
love
right?
it. Yeah, I love the smell of the garlic.
Okay.
So,
So I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit because the shrimp need to be cooked. But
yeah.
you don't want to overcook seafood, never. So
Yeah, I know.
once the shrimp is a bit, I would say about 50% cooked, I'll flip on the other side and then I will add the noodles. Because the stove is quite hot, this is the technique we use for this Chinese wok. I'm adding the noodles. So,
right now?
Yes, your shrimp is not quite there, right? Add this, yeah. You also have a smaller shrimp. It's getting there?
It's getting orange color.
Okay, good. Next would be the noodles.
Okay. Just keep them here.
All right, I'm adding maybe a handful of the noodles in the pan. So oil, garlic, and chilies, shrimp, and then the noodles.
What do you think? What do you think, Noe? Is it good?
Let's take a look.
It's a bit orange right now.
Yeah, no, but you need to turn up the heat just a little bit. Is your heat on high or medium?
It's now it's medium.
Okay,
No, now it's high. It's high.
Add the noodle now. I think your shrimp is ready, and it's going to continue cooking as we finishing the dish. Okay, you drain it. That's good enough. That's good enough. Don't overcrowded your pan. Don't overcrowded your pan.
Okay.
So you want some room to add and move around, as well as you also want to add more vegetable to it. So overcrowding the pan will make it a little more difficult. I'm turning up my heat just a hair. Go ahead, turn your heat up a little bit on high. And
it is
the noodles will get softened.
Yeah, it's getting bigger as well, expanding.
It's expanding. So once the noodle is soft, just a bit, I will add the sauce. I would add the flavor. So first, I will do the dark soy sauce and light soy sauce.
Should I add them right now?
Yes. Yes. Dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, and fish sauce. You kind of throw the fish sauce on the side of the pan.
Okay. So first one is dark
soy sauce.
Okay.
The light soy sauce and fish sauce. And the last one is oyster sauce. Okay, where are you at?
I'm going to add the fish and then the oyster, the last one.
So dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, fish sauce, oyster sauce. Okay, good. Stir it around. Make sure that it covers the bottom of the pan.
Okay. And the oyster, just put it on it or on the side?
Yes, it's just put it on the noodle. It's fine.
the spiciest.
Okay. And I'm just going to
Yeah.
add a pinch of sugar. That's all. I don't want to use a lot of sugar, just a pinch, just to give it balance from the saltiness. And from here, I'm adding the vegetable. I have quite a bit of vegetable, so it needs to go in before the shrimp get overcooked. I would do something that is a little heartier first and leave the onion and the chilies last. Now I flip the noodles on top and leave the vegetable at the bottom of the pan so it get cooked. So once you add the corn, make sure that it goes to the bottom of the pan. And we are almost done. Let me see where you are. Okay. All right. The noodle, look at the shrimp. The shrimp is pretty much almost cooked, so you don't really need to cook it too much further. Add your onion.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm adding my onion and a little. Break it up and strew it around your pan.
The onions or the basil?
And a touch of the white pepper. And now I'm going to flip the pan again. Just make sure that the onions go to the bottom. And you can see that the noodles get a little bit charred. The vegetable is getting cooked and beautifully bright color, like the green beans.
Yeah.
And I'm almost done with this. I'm about to put in the basil. You can see that everything is cooked to the point. The green vegetable is green.
Yeah.
The yellow vegetable is yellow and the red vegetable is red. That is what I'm talking about, the color and the texture, as well as this use of wonderful herbs we're about to put in. So May, I'm adding the last step is the basil. Sprinkle it over it.
Okay.
Just enough to cover. It seems a lot, but once it's cooked down, it will be nothing.
Yeah, I know. It smells so beautiful. And it looks so delicious. I mean, the colors are amazing.
The basil is now at the bottom.
So I don't I don't stir the ingredients. I just keep them like that.
All right. I'm turning off the heat. May, are you good? Are you close?
Yeah. What do you should I wait or should I?
Let me see. All right. Make sure that your basil goes at the bottom of the pan so it gets cooked.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Okay. The smell of the basil.
See how it's kind of disappear into the dish? You can't really see that much basil that we had earlier.
And the smell is amazing.
Again, the basil turned bright green, and that's when you need to turn off the heat. And we are ready to dish this thing. Okay. Oh, that looks good. Actually, very good. Good job. So now I'm dishing this up. And
so now should I use this to serve the food?
yes, if it's easier for you, go ahead and put it in the plate.
It is, yeah.
Okay, good. As you can see, I like a lot of vegetable in my noodles. I'm not as healthy as you, but I also like to eat a lot of vegetable with my meal.
so healthy, but I'm trying, to maintain things together, you know, to look beautiful
Do
when I
you
grow up.
do you think this is a good quick meal? Do you feel that it
It's
was
amazing. It's
good?
amazing, actually, and it's so easy. It doesn't require
It's
any like
simple, right?
lots. Very simple.
All right. Very good. Let me take a
Yeah.
look at this. Yes. Okay. Maybe we can spotlight both at the same time. Hey, yes. Let me take a picture. 1, 2, 3. So everyone, I hope you enjoy cooking with me. And it's a pleasure to be included in your conference. Come to Thailand, look for me. We are welcome, everyone. Enjoy your time with the conference. And May, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Noi. Thank you so much for having me, actually, and you're such a sweet person. Thank you for introducing me today to a new dish, because I have to admit I'm not like the best one to cook, but that meal is really easy, very delicious. It has everything healthy. Thanks everybody for joining us today in this video. And thank you, Noi, so much for everything. Enjoy the rest of your Wikimania.